Take a deep breath and ask yourself right now, are you truly living your life, or are you simply surviving? Too many people wake up each morning already defeated. They open their eyes and the weight of yesterday sits on their chest. Their energy is consumed by regrets, by fears, by what-ifs, by the opinions of people who don't even matter. But hear me clearly, this is your life, and it is time to take back control. Control doesn't mean life will suddenly get easy. Control doesn't mean you'll never face challenges again. Control means you decide how you respond. Control means you stop waiting for permission. Control means you stop letting your past dictate your future. Because the moment you stop handing over your power to excuses, to fear, to circumstances, you begin to rise. Maybe you've been knocked down. Maybe you've been betrayed. Maybe you've been living small because you believe the lie that you're not enough. But you are not your failures. You are not your mistakes. You are not what they said about you. You are a force, and the moment you remember that, your life changes. Think about it. How many times have you told yourself, I'll start tomorrow? How many times have you let doubt whisper, you can't? Every time you believe that lie, you hand over the keys to your life. But today is different. Today you say no more. No more living by default. No more letting fear be the driver. No more waiting for the perfect moment. There is no perfect moment. The perfect moment is the one you create when you take action. Taking back control starts with a decision. Not a wish, not a hope. A decision. A decision that you will no longer tolerate the life you don't want. A decision that you will stand up for your future. A decision that no matter how many times you fall, you will get back up stronger. Ask yourself right now, what am I no longer willing to settle for? What am I going to claim for my life? Because when you get clear on what you will no longer tolerate, you create space for who you're meant to become. And don't you dare tell yourself you're too old, too young, too broken, too late. That's a story you've been telling yourself, and it's time to rewrite it. You can change your story today. You can say, enough is enough. My life belongs to me. So take back control. Take control of your time. Stop wasting it on things that don't serve you. Take control of your mind. Stop letting negative thoughts run wild. Take control of your body. Treat it like the gift it is. Take control of your destiny. Stop leaving it in the hands of chance. There will be days you want to quit. There will be days the old version of you tries to pull you back. But hear me, you are stronger than your excuses, braver than your fears, greater than your circumstances. The power to transform is already inside you. All that's left is for you to step into it. So today, make the decision, take back control of your life, because the world doesn't need another person drifting through the days. It needs the real you. Most people are not really living, they are existing. They wake up every morning and immediately fall into the same routine they did yesterday. The alarm goes off, they roll out of bed. They check their phone, they scroll. They drag themselves through the motions of the day. And by the time night comes, they collapse into bed only to repeat the cycle again tomorrow. This is not living, this is surviving. And surviving is not what you were created for. You were made for more than just going through the motions, more than just waiting for the weekend, more than just paying bills and dying. But to step into that more, you must first make a decision to stop living on autopilot and start taking command of your life. The truth is, autopilot feels safe. It's predictable. You know exactly what's going to happen, and you don't have to think too hard. That's why so many people get stuck in it. But safety is not the same as fulfillment. Security is not the same as purpose. You cannot create a life that excites you by staying in the same cycle that drains you. You have to interrupt the pattern. You have to be willing to say, this is not enough. I refuse to keep sleepwalking through my days. Look at your life right now and be honest with yourself. How much of what you do every day is a conscious choice, and how much is habit? How much is driven by what you truly want, and how much is driven by routine, pressure, or expectation. The scary part is that most people don't even realize they're living on autopilot until years have passed and they look back wondering where the time went. They realize they traded their dreams for comfort, their passion for predictability, and their potential for safety. But you don't have to let that be your story. Living on autopilot means giving away your power. It means letting circumstances, habits, and other people decide what your life will look like. Taking back control begins the moment you decide that you are no longer willing to drift. It begins the moment you say, from this day forward, I'm choosing with intention. It's about breaking the cycle of waking up and immediately being a slave to distractions, about reclaiming your focus and asking yourself every morning, what do I want to create today? Who do I want to become today? What matters most right now? This is not about making a massive overnight change. It's about choosing differently in the moments that count. Instead of snoozing the alarm for the third time, you get up and use that time for yourself. Instead of mindlessly scrolling through social media, you invest that time in learning something that will push you forward. Instead of reacting to every demand thrown at you, you set boundaries and protect your energy. These small decisions, repeated daily, will compound into a life of power, fulfillment, and direction. You don't need to know every step of the journey to take the first one. You don't need to have the perfect plan mapped out to start moving. What you need is the courage to decide. Decide that you're not going to live the next 10 years the same way you lived the last 10. Decide that you will no longer settle for less than what you know you're capable of. Decide that your future is worth fighting for, even if it means being uncomfortable now. Because the truth is, autopilot living is comfortable but costly. It costs you your dreams. It costs you your potential. It costs you the chance to see who you could really become if you stopped playing small. And every day you delay making that decision, you pay the price in regret, frustration, and wasted time. You are either choosing your life or your life is choosing for you. And if you don't take control, autopilot will take control for you. When you decide to stop living on autopilot, you don't just change your day, you change your destiny. You begin to shift from reacting to creating, from drifting to directing, from existing to truly living. The decision is yours, and it always has been. Every single person carries a story about who they are and what they're capable of, and for most, that story is a prison. It's a set of invisible walls built from years of doubt, fear, criticism, and disappointment. These walls are called limiting beliefs. They are the quiet, constant whispers in your mind saying, you're not good enough. You don't deserve more. People like you can't do that. It's too late. You'll never succeed. And because you've heard these lies so many times, sometimes from others, sometimes from yourself, you start to believe them. But the truth is, those beliefs are not facts. They are choices. They are assumptions. And they can be shattered the moment you decide you will no longer let them define you. Think about where those beliefs came from. Maybe it was a parent who told you not to aim too high, a teacher who doubted your ability, a friend who mocked your dream, or a past failure that left you scarred. Over time, you accepted these experiences as proof that you weren't capable. But what if you were wrong? What if those moments weren't a reflection of your potential, but simply moments in time that taught you lessons? What if the only thing truly holding you back isn't the obstacles in front of you, but the story you've been repeating to yourself? Your beliefs shape your behavior. If you believe you can't, you won't even try. If you believe you don't deserve happiness, you'll sabotage every opportunity for it. If you believe success is for other people, you'll never step into the arena. The most dangerous prison is not made of bars and steel. It's made of the thoughts you choose to believe. That's why breaking free from limiting beliefs is not just important. It's essential if you want to take control of your life. The first step is awareness. You must become aware of the lies you've been telling yourself. Listen carefully to your inner dialogue. Notice the excuses you keep repeating, the "I'm not" and "I can't," phrases that slip out of your mouth without even thinking. Every time you catch yourself saying, "I'm not good at that," "I'm too old," "I'll never be successful," stop and challenge it. Ask yourself, who told me that? Where did that belief come from? What evidence do I really have? You'll often discover that the belief was never truly yours. It was borrowed from someone else's fear, limitation, or projection. The second step is rewriting the story. Once you identify a limiting belief, replace it with an empowering one. Instead of "I'm not good enough," say "I am capable and I can grow." Instead of "It's too late for me," say "The best time to start is now." Instead of "I can't," say "I will find a way." These are not just affirmations, they are commands to your subconscious mind, and when repeated with conviction, they begin to rewire the way you see yourself. It won't happen overnight. Years of conditioning don't vanish in a day, but each time you choose a new belief, each time you act despite fear, each time you prove yourself wrong, the walls of that mental prison begin to crack, and with enough persistence, they eventually shatter completely. Another powerful way to break free is through action. Action destroys limiting beliefs faster than anything else. Because while your mind can argue all day long about what's possible, results don't lie. If you believe you're not strong enough, start training and watch yourself grow stronger. If you believe you can't learn something, dedicate time every day to it and prove to yourself that you can. Each action is a vote for the new story you're writing, a vote that says, "I am not defined by my past. I am not bound by my fears. I am more than what I once believed." Surround yourself with people who reinforce your new beliefs instead of dragging you back to the old one. Energy is contagious, and if you're constantly around people who think small, you'll stay small. But if you connect with people who dream big, who push boundaries, who refuse to accept excuses, you'll start to rise to their level. The truth is, you were never meant to live inside a box someone else built for you. You were never meant to settle for a life that feels smaller than your potential. The moment you recognize that your limiting beliefs are lies is the moment you realize you've had the key to your freedom all along. So much of the frustration people feel in life comes from pouring their focus into things they can't control. They worry about what others think, they obsess over the past, they stress about the future, and in doing so, they drain themselves of the power they need to change what's right in front of them. The truth is, you can't control everything, but you can control the most important things: your mind, your time, and your energy. When you take ownership of those three areas, you take back command of your life. The mind is the battlefield where your future is won or lost. Every day you are bombarded with thousands of thoughts, and most of them are recycled from yesterday. If you don't train your mind, it will run on autopilot, filled with fear, doubt, and negativity. That's why mastering your mindset is essential. You decide what you allow to take root in your thoughts. You can't always control the first thought that pops up, but you can control whether you feed it or starve it. When fear shows up, you can challenge it with truth. When doubt whispers, you can counter it with evidence of your past victories. When negativity creeps in, you can shift your focus to gratitude and possibility. What you focus on, you feel, and what you feel, you act on. If you want to change your life, start by changing the way you think. Your time is the most valuable resource you will ever have. Money can be lost and earned again. Opportunities can disappear and come back, but time, once gone, never returns. Yet most people treat it as if it's endless. They waste hours scrolling through social media, getting caught in gossip binge, watching shows that add nothing to their lives, and saying yes to things that don't align with their goals. If you want to take back control, you must become ruthless with your time. Ask yourself daily, is this the highest and best use of my time? Does this bring me closer to the life I want, or does it keep me stuck? Every yes is a no to something else. If you say yes to distraction, you say no to progress. If you say yes to other people's priorities, You say no to your own dreams. Protect your time like it's treasure, because it is. Energy is the fuel that powers everything you do. Without it, even the best mindset and the best plan won't take you far. You control your energy through the choices you make every single day. What you eat, how you move, how much you sleep, who you spend time with, all of these either recharge you or drain you. Too many people underestimate how much their environment impacts their energy. If you're constantly around negativity, you will feel drained. If you're constantly feeding your body junk, you'll feel sluggish. If you're constantly skipping rest, you'll struggle to focus. Taking control of your energy means choosing habits and environments that give you strength instead of stealing it. Move your body daily, feed your body foods that fuel you, and cut out the toxic influences that weigh you down. When you align your mind, time, and energy, you create unstoppable momentum. Picture it. Your mind is focused, your time is directed, and your energy is high. Suddenly the goals that once felt impossible start to feel achievable. The habits that used to feel heavy become natural. You begin to realize that the life you thought was out of reach was simply waiting for you to take control of the things that have always been within your power. There will always be things outside your control, other people's choices, the economy, unexpected events, but those are not where your power lies. Your power lies in how you think, how you spend your hours, and how you protect your energy. Most people waste their lives worrying about what they can't change while ignoring what they can. Flip that. Put your focus where it matters. Guard your mind, direct your time, and fuel your energy, and watch how quickly your life begins to transform. Every single person encounters setbacks. No matter how talented, driven, or prepared you are, life will throw challenges at you. You will face rejection, you will stumble, you will fail, and sometimes the very things you worked hardest for will fall apart. Most people see setbacks as proof that they're not good enough, that they should give up, or that life is unfair. But the truth is, setbacks are not there to destroy you. They are there to build you, to strengthen you, to carve out the version of you who can handle the very life you've been dreaming about. A setback is not the end, it's the raw material for your next breakthrough. Think about the moments in your life when you grew the most. It wasn't when everything went smoothly. It wasn't when every plan worked exactly as you imagined. Growth doesn't come from comfort. It comes from pressure, from resistance, from the times you thought you couldn't go on but did anyway. Every setback carries within it a lesson, a chance to rise higher, a push to develop resilience you never knew you had. When you choose to see setbacks as fuel instead of failure, you transform obstacles into stepping stones. The first shift you must make is in how you interpret a setback. Most people ask, why me? Why is this happening to me? But the more powerful question is, what is this here to teach me? How can I use this? The moment you ask better questions, you unlock better answers. A rejection may be teaching you patience and persistence. A failure may be pushing you to refine your strategy. A betrayal may be showing you the importance of boundaries and self-worth. Life is not punishing you, it's preparing you. But you only see that when you decide to look at setbacks through the lens of growth instead of defeat. Turning setbacks into fuel also requires taking responsibility. It's easy to blame circumstances, people, or luck, but blame keeps you stuck. Responsibility gives you power. When you say, "This happened, and I will decide what it means for me," you take the wheel back in your hands. You may not have chosen the setback, but you absolutely choose the response. And in that response, you either shrink or you rise. Another key is resilience. The ability to get back up one more time than you've been knocked down. Resilience is not about never falling. It's about refusing to stay down. Every time you stand back up, you prove to yourself that you are stronger than your circumstances. You train your mind to know that no failure is final unless you quit. And with each comeback, you build a level of confidence that can't be shaken because it's rooted not in perfection but in persistence. Action is the antidote to discouragement. When a setback knocks you down, don't stay there analyzing every detail until you drown in doubt. Move, do something, take a step, even a small one, toward your goal. Momentum creates clarity, and clarity creates progress. The people who turn setbacks into comebacks are not the ones who sit around waiting for motivation. They are the ones who act their way into it. You must also be careful about the story you attach to your setbacks. If you tell yourself, "This means I'm not good enough," you will start living that story. But if you tell yourself, "This is making me stronger, this is preparing me, this is shaping me into who I need to become," then that setback becomes the very fuel that propels you forward. The story you attach is the difference between staying stuck and breaking through. And never forget that your setbacks are not just for you. They give you the strength and wisdom to inspire others. When you rise after falling, when you push forward despite the pain, you become proof that it's possible. Someone else will look at your journey and realize they too can keep going. Your resilience becomes a light for someone else still in the dark. There comes a moment when dreaming is not enough, when hoping is not enough, when planning is not enough. That moment is now. You can think about your goals all day long. You can write them down. You can visualize them. But until you take action, nothing changes. The future you want is not going to walk into your life and introduce itself. You have to claim it with relentless action. Not occasional effort, not half-hearted attempts, but relentless, consistent, unstoppable action that tells the world you are serious about what you say you want. Most people fail not because they don't have big dreams, but because they never turn those dreams into daily actions. They wait for the perfect time, they wait for motivation, they wait for the right circumstances, and in waiting, they waste years of their lives. The truth is, there is no perfect time. There is no magical moment when everything lines up. The only time you will ever have is now, and the only way to create momentum is to start moving, even if it feels messy, even if it feels uncertain. Action is what separates those who talk about their dreams from those who live them. Relentless action is not about doing everything at once. It's about doing something every single day that moves you closer to your vision. Small steps compound into massive change. Writing 1 page a day becomes a book. Saving a little money each week becomes financial freedom. Training a few minutes every day becomes strength you never thought possible. The secret is not in huge bursts of effort, but in consistent, intentional action that builds unstoppable momentum. You must also understand that relentless action requires discipline. Motivation comes and goes, but discipline carries you when motivation disappears. Discipline means doing what you said you would do long after the feeling in which you said it has faded. It means showing up when you don't feel like it, pushing through when you're tired, and holding yourself accountable when no one is watching. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, you strengthen your ability to claim your future. Obstacles will appear, and they will test your commitment. When things get hard, most people retreat back to their old patterns. But if you are serious about your future, you must treat obstacles not as roadblocks but as training grounds. Each one is an opportunity to prove how badly you want it. Relentless action doesn't mean you never fall. It means you refuse to stay down. It means you adapt, you adjust, and you keep moving forward no matter what stands in your way. You must also guard your environment, because action is contagious. If you surround yourself with people who make excuses, you will start making excuses. If you surround yourself with people who complain about their circumstances but never change them, you'll be tempted to do the same. But if you place yourself around people who are chasing their goals with passion, who take bold action every day, their energy will push you higher. Choose carefully who you allow into your circle, because your environment will either fuel your action or suffocate it. Relentless action also requires clarity. You can't just say, "I want a better life," and expect results. You must define what that better life looks like. Be specific. What does success look like to you? What does fulfillment feel like? What goals must you accomplish to get there? When you know where you're going, you can break it down into daily steps that bring you closer. Without clarity, you drift. With clarity, every action becomes a building block for your future. And remember, relentless action is not about perfection. You don't need to get it right every time. You just need to keep going. Too many people wait until they feel fully ready, but readiness is a myth. You don't become ready by waiting. You become ready by doing. You grow through the process, you learn through the mistakes, and you evolve through the effort. Your future belongs to the version of you who refuses to quit, who chooses progress over perfection, who acts boldly even when fear is screaming, who understands that every day is an opportunity to move closer to the life you desire.